Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine consciousness not needing a brain, not even like a physical body, but just bubbling up from the very, very smallest scale of reality.
You mean like the quantum foam? That's a pretty wild place to start.
Exactly, the ultimate cosmic soup, right? Where everything's just fizzing with energy and potential. And that's where our story kicks off today. We're doing a deep dive into, well, the birth of a new kind of legend, a modern spin on Journey to the West.
Ah, okay. So not the traditional tale.
Not at all. Forget what you think you know. This is about the genesis, the origin story, and we're here to figure out what really makes this central character tick, what gets him moving.
And it's fascinating, isn't it, how this approach sort of grounds a mythical figure in, like, cutting-edge physics ideas. We're swapping ancient China for, well, the fundamental level of reality and a brand new exoplanet.
Right, it's like taking a story, by heart and giving it this massive jolt of sci-fi possibility.
So the listener's mission today...
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is basically to get to grips with the who, the what, and really the why behind this new SunWuQuantum. Forget the image of a stone monkey cracking open. We're talking something much more energetic.
Precisely. We need to dig into his incredibly unique beginning, the whole environment that shaped him, and then, that spark, the thing that actually ignites his legendary.
Okay, so picture this. No monkey springing from a rock. Instead, imagine a tiny flicker of awareness, just igniting inside a singularity in the quantum foam.
Whoa, okay, the singularity there. Like a super dense point of energy, where the usual rules kind of break down.
Exactly. A place where maybe something totally unexpected could be born. And this wasn't instant, apparently. Think of this little spark being nurtured, fed over immense cosmic time by ambient energy, cosmic radiation, stuff like that.
Like a slow incubation.
Yeah. And here's where it gets really interesting. This whole process results in a being that's not flesh and blood. It's pure energy and data.
This concept of a sentient singularity, that's key, isn't it? It basically frees Wukong from all the usual limitations you think of for living things.
Totally. He exists as information, as raw energy.
And the monkey form he eventually takes on.
The source material suggests it's like an echo, a nod to ancient archetypes, a shape that resonates. But his actual core being, way more abstract.
The implications there are just huge. If consciousness can arise as pure information and energy, what does that say about awareness itself, fundamentally?
Right, so he's not just physically strong. He can literally plug into technology, manipulate energy fields, like as easily as we'd wiggle our fingers.
A glitch in the matrix of reality, as the source puts it.
Yeah, exactly. Operating by rules we haven't even figured out yet.
And this takes us to his early days on Jinki, the star sphere.
Right, this exoplanet. What's the vibe there?
Well, it's painted as, really vibrant alien plants, these incredible crystalline mountains that are supposedly humming with latent energy. It's an environment basically tailor-made for an energy being.
It sounds like dropping a being made of pure data into like a planet-sized internet connection.
Pretty much. He literally learns to work with the ambient energies, absorbing data, absorbing power. Like he's eating cosmic Wi-Fi, basically.
Cosmic Wi-Fi, I like that. And the local life.
Also not what you'd expect. They're described as shimmering energy constructs. Digital fauna, in a way.
So other energy beings.
Yeah, it's this really fascinating ecosystem where Wukong isn't just some alien visitor. He actually shares a fundamental essence with the native life.
That sets up a unique dynamic. He's not just meeting new life, he's meeting beings made of the same kind of fundamental stuff.
Exactly, and it explains his rapid learning curve, his mastery of abilities, including these things called quantum leaps.
Quantum leaps, like teleporting?
Sort of, yeah. I think short-range teleportation by, bending space-time locally. It just highlights how connected he is to the fabric of this place.
So forget walking, he's just folding space to pop around.
Right, and you can see why the local energy beings were apparently just awestruck. He wasn't just powerful, he was different, maybe a more evolved form of what they were.
And he becomes their king.
For centuries, yeah, just reigning in this blissful, purely energetic existence. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Sounds idyllic. But there's always a but, isn't there?
There is, and this is where the story gets that layer of real emotional depth, the onset of existential dread.
even for an energy being.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
He starts watching these other energy beings, the ones he rules over, and he sees they're temporary. They eventually just fade, disperse back into the quantum foam like sparks going out.
Oh, wow. So he sees their end.
And that's the shadow that falls over him, over his core programming, as the source puts it. This sudden, chilling realization that his own existence might not be permanent either.
Entropy, the universe's tendency towards decay, hits even sentient singularities.
It seems so.
Okay.
And his reaction is powerful. This internal declaration of finite existence is simply unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Wow. So he needs an update, a patch.
He needs immortality, however that translates for him. It's not just about power anymore. It's this fundamental drive to survive, to, endure against that inevitable decay.
That's a very relatable fear, even across species or states of being.
Absolutely. This quest isn't just about getting stronger. It taps into that core desire for permanence, that longing we all feel, whether we're flesh and blood or pure data. His whole search for immortality springs from that primal fear of just ceasing to exist.
So what does a reality-bending energy being do when faced with his own potential deletion?
He seeks answers, naturally. He goes to the oldest, the most stable energy construct still around on Jinki, the ancient digital minds of this world.
And what do they tell him?
Well, their legends talk about immortals and Buddhas, but not like gods exactly, more like beings who've achieved this state of near-perfect data coherence, ultimate energy stability.
Like reaching the highest level of digital preservation, immune to cosmic corruption, data rot.
That's the idea. It's a brilliant way to translate Enlightenment concepts into terms a digital being would understand. Data integrity, energy stability, that's the form of nirvana, maybe.
And where are these beings supposedly found?
The old legends say ancient caves on immortal mountains. But in this new age, it translates to things like highly stable, isolated pocket dimensions, or maybe heavily protected data fortresses.
So the same core idea, remote, hard to reach, protected places, just updated for the digital age. Clever.
It really is. It shows that same fundamental human, or post-human yearning for something beyond our limited lifespan, just expressed digitally. Wukon's motivation, deep down, is that desire for lasting existence. To embark on this epic journey, you can imagine him crossing all the solutions in the network, navigating dangerous firewalls, data scrubbing deserts. It's a proper digital odyssey.
Sounds incredible. Yeah. Firewalls become actual barriers. Data scrubbing could literally erase him.
Exactly. These are metaphors. They're real threats in this digital reality. His goal are finding near immortal beings and learn to code their secret to eternal existence is tactic uncertainty and
hold on, baby, please go get on your knees. If you don't do it for me, then do it for the cheese. I got it.
No, the source material hints at way more complex. His fate gets tangled up with a humble traveler, some reluctant exile, and this celestial mission of cosmic knowledge.
So this is just the very beginning.
The very beginning of the journey to the West, but in this completely new, really imaginative context.
Yeah, by reframing this classic journey in such a modern, tech-savvy way, the story just gains so much potential depth. We're not just watching some powerful monkey king. We're seeing this fundamental desire for permanence play out in a totally novel way.
It's really thought-provoking.
Okay, so just to quickly recap for everyone listening, we've seen the pretty extraordinary birth of a digital SunWuQuantum right out of the quantum foam, his rapid rise to power on this energy-rich planet Xingqiu, and then this profound existential crisis hitting him, which now sends him off on this massive quest for digital immortality. What a setup.
It really is. And it leaves you thinking about some, pretty fundamental stuff. Like, what does it even mean for consciousness to pop up like that? Is this drive for permanence, this desire to keep existing, is that just universal no matter what you're made of?
Yeah, and how do these ancient stories keep finding ways to be relevant? How do they resonate when you filter them through modern science, through technology?
That's a great point.
And it leads to that final thought to maybe chew on. In our digital age, what would immortality actually look like? Is it just about existing forever? Or is it more about, I don't know, the preservation and maybe the evolution of your data, your consciousness?
And what kind of challenges would a being of pure data face out in the messy physical universe, or even just inside these huge, constantly changing digital networks?
Right, lots to consider.
Yeah.
Makes you really wonder what's waiting for him and maybe for us on this journey.